Good morning and welcome to this session of the live coaching classes of the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It's nice to be here, and I am seeing one good morning message from Mr. Hitesh Jain. I say good morning to all of you. And see, this topic is pretty humongous, and I use the word humongous very, carefully. So, without much ado, let me go directly to where we stopped. Quick review. We are talking about meetings. We spoke about AGM and EGM. We spoke about the mechanics of meeting. We could speak about notice and quorum. We still have a long journey ahead of us. So let's move quickly to proxies. Or before that, I think yesterday, some of you did have some doubt on adjournment. Especially, some of you had a doubt on the difference between postponement and adjournment. So I thought I could quickly touch upon that, talk about adjournments, and let us understand the difference. See, postponement is not adjournment. Talk about adjournments. I repeat, postponement is not another name for adjournment. Postponement is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date before the date of meeting. I've called for the meeting on 25th of July, and I know that there's an issue, I can't do it. Therefore, I inform the members by giving public notice, etc., in accordance with the Act. Okay? And I tell them, the day, this is not going to happen on that date, brothers. We're going to have it on another day. That is postponement. Okay. Adjournment is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date at the meeting. I called the meeting on 25th July. I'm not postponing it. Members come, either I don't have a quorum, in which case the law says it gets adjourned. The law says it gets adjourned. In the case of a requisitionist meeting, the meeting stands cancelled. That's it. That's the end of story. Meeting, no more meeting. Meeting ho gaya. Not ho gaya. Meeting nahi hai. There's no meeting. That's all. Whereas ho gaya means it's actually conducted, agenda is passed and ho gaya. This is nahi. The meeting is not it's not going to happen. But if it's it's not one requisitioned meeting, okay, under 100, then it gets adjourned, and that's statutorily. Otherwise also, the chairman of the meeting, for many reasons, you see, a question may come up. He may not have the time or he may not have the data with him. So the MD, the chairman of that meeting could always say, hey, look here, I don't have the data and I will definitely answer your query. For that, let's adjourn the meeting. This is an adjournment by choice of the chairman. Okay. Chairman can always adjourn. He has the prerogative to adjourn for valid reasons. The members can also request an adjournment motion. See, the controlling group may be trying to run through the agenda without explaining. So, members can come and ask for an adjournment. But then, this is called an adjournment motion. This is called an adjournment motion. Later on, when we come to resolutions, we'll tell you what is motion. Actually, motion is anything that is proposed. I am proposing that the meeting be adjourned for getting more data, or let us not be in a hurry to take the decision. This adjournment motion will be put to vote. Simple majority. It has to, so that will go on. That is called adjournment motion. Okay. See, the chairman cannot adjourn a meeting on an adjournment motion. Okay, see, some people want adjournment. Some people don't want adjournment. Now, whether to adjourn or not, we'll decide later. That is as good as adjourning it. So that should not happen. So basically, adjournment is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date at the meeting. So the meeting is at the appointed time, people are there. Either entire quorum is there, the meeting goes on. And then the chairman decides, let's adjourn. Or adjournment motion passed, favorably adjourned. If the adjournment motion is defeated, then meeting continues. Okay. This is a very complicated subject, my dear friends. What you are studying in company law is only a tip of the iceberg. The law relating to meeting is not contained in any one statute. It is the practice over, say, 300 years, which has become a sort of acquired knowledge, and we keep it. There's something called the Westminster Rules, which is followed in England. The parliamentary proceeding in the British Parliament. It's called Westminster Rules. Similarly, you have the Roberts Rules of Meetings, which is the US model. Roberts Rules of Meetings. Rotary meetings, Toastmasters meetings, etc. run on the Roberts rules. The Masonic meetings run on Westminster rules. There's small differences, that's all. Okay. So we understood what is adjournment. Right. Lastly, there is cancellation. Baba, cancellation is a complete whole. Because both these meetings have their genesis in the notice. Of course, if you are holding a meeting beyond 30 days, if the adjourned meeting is going to be held at a date beyond 30 days, or the adjourned meeting it's adjourned sine die. Sine die. Okay, you are not specifying the date of the adjourned meeting. When you are not specifying the date, you are saying we are adjourning the meeting, we will inform you about the date later, the chairman says. It is called adjournment sine die. Sine die. Sine means without. Die means date. Sine die means without date. The meeting may also specify the date. Even if it specifies the date, if it's more than 30 days ahead from the current date, you have to give a fresh notice. You have to give a fresh notice. If it is adjourned sine die, even if you're going to hold it in the next week, you have to give notice. Because nobody knows what the date is. Similarly, adjournments could be statutory. That is the operation of law. We saw one example now where quorum is not present. In your final syllabus, you will see one more example where the retiring director is automatically reappointed. Where the meeting does not resolve not to reappoint the director, then the meeting will stand adjourned. In both cases, you will find the word stand is used. Sorry. Not strands. To be stranded is to be left alone without any support. To stand is to stand, okay, erect, vertical position. So, operation of law. Non-statutory or by violation or choice, when the meeting is adjourned. I think adjournments per se have been covered clearly. So, please do keep this in mind. Important points to remember: election of chairman cannot be adjourned. Adjournment motion itself cannot be adjourned. And these two cases, adjournment is not a thing. Now, where a resolution is passed at an adjourned meeting of a company or the holders of any class of shares in a company or the board of directors, the resolution shall be treated as passed on the day it was actually passed and not on any earlier date. See, I did mention to you that the original meeting and the adjourned meeting together is a single event. But you can't use that logic to say, sir, I passed the resolution on 15th of August. Sorry, not 15th of August, national holiday. 16th of August. But the original meeting was called and held, properly held on the 25th of July. Then we adjourned it. So should it not be that it was deemed to have been passed on 25th July itself? No. You passed it on 16th of August, then the resolution shall be treated as passed on the day it was actually passed. Means when the majority vote was given for that resolution, 16th of August is the date. So any validity of acts, etc., would depend on this. Okay, suppose somebody has done something, if you are ratifying it, the ratification happens only on 16th August, not on 25th July. Right. Now we get into another very important and interesting topic called proxy. Okay, let me also make a point here, my dear friends, that proxy as a concept is today becoming lesser and lesser relevant. Okay, why? Because you're going to see postal ballot, you're going to see voting, e-voting. The reason for a proxy is because geography. A member has to attend the meeting. He is not able to do so due to his own personal preoccupation or due to mobility, transportation. He is not able to come all the way. So maybe it's in a different city from where he resides. So what he says, I will appoint somebody to attend the meeting on my behalf. So basically a proxy is a person who attends any general meeting of a company on behalf of a member. So the minute you use the word on behalf, then the principle of agency will apply. The proxy is the agent of the original member. He has only one single role. He should attend the meeting, vote. That's all. Vote on behalf of the member. Other than that, he is a stranger in that meeting. He has no business to be there. Or meaning, the only purpose he is there is to vote. That's all. Now, what is a proxy can also be answered, because proxy is the instrument. That same term proxy is used for the instrument or document by which the proxy is authorized. The person, the proxy. So proxy is the person and proxy is also the paper, the kagas where I authorize him. That is also called proxy. So how many proxies are there means how many proxy forms have been received, right? To attend any general meeting of a company on behalf of such member. So all these documents are also called proxy. Or if you want to be clear about it, you can say proxy form. Sometimes we don't use the word proxy form. We say proxy. Where is your proxy? So immediately you show the document. Okay, come. Right there. The proxy has to go announce himself at the beginning of the meeting itself, inform the secretary of the company that he is attending on behalf of so-and-so member. There will be a separate attendance register for proxies. Okay. See, all this becomes important because a proxy can vote. Therefore, they have to be very careful about how many proxies are there, how many shares they are entitled to vote on, etc., etc. All that will be captured and kept ready by the secretary. The company secretary has to do all this. Okay. Member who attends himself is said to attend in person or is personally present. So, whenever you find the word personally present, please remember the member who attends himself in person is called personally present. When a proxy attends a meeting on behalf of a member, still the member is attending, but the member is attending through proxy. So both are attendance, but in person through proxy. There are certain things only a member in person can do. For example, a proxy cannot become a chairman. Only member attending in person can become the chairman of the meeting. As you know, for counting quorum, we will not count a proxy. We will only take the members attending in person. Remember quorum. So any member of a company entitled to attend and vote at a meeting shall be entitled to appoint another person as a proxy to attend and vote on his behalf. It is a right. It cannot be denied. In fact, you will be seeing that the notice calling the meeting should contain a statutory information about this. You have to inform the members that as a member, you are entitled to appoint a proxy who can attend and vote on your behalf. So I've already said the member in person and through proxy. Okay. Unless the articles of a company otherwise provide, the provision shall not apply in the case of a company not having a share capital. So what is the point we are making here? Where a company does not have share capital, unless the articles provide, proxies cannot be appointed. Logically, reason because normally on show of hands, one man, one vote. Once you go to a poll, which you'll be seeing very shortly, once you demand a poll, on a poll, one share, one vote. Now, in a company not having share capital, there can be no question of poll or shares, number of shares. It would still, you can have a poll, but number of there's no need for a proxy. The member should attend in person. So if the articles are silent, a company not having share capital, the members cannot appoint a proxy. But if the articles provide, member can appoint a proxy who will attend on his behalf, right? Central government may prescribe a class or class of companies. We'll be seeing IFSC companies, private companies and all are exempted. We'll see that. The instrument appointing proxy 11, MGT 11. Okay. Just remember the from number itself. Don't have to remember the format. Okay. Actually, there is something called a two-way proxy. It's not covered in your institute material, so I'm not going there. Basically, a proxy has an option to choose how he votes. In the normal proxy, ordinary proxy, okay, not one-way proxy, ordinary proxy, normal proxy, the proxy can decide how to vote. Even decide that. He will clearly mention for, against, so that when the proxy is no more than a messenger bringing the proxy form, voting. That's all. Right? That's called two-way proxy, where the member expresses his choice as to how the voting should happen on his behalf. But where the member uses a normal proxy, the proxy has the choice. He can choose to vote for or against. That's not in your material. Therefore, I'm assuming it is not relevant for you. The instrument appointing a proxy shall be in writing, orally not possible. I call and telling you no, in writing. Signed by the appointer or his attorney. Attorney means power of attorney. See, I may have appointed a power of attorney on my behalf. I may be abroad, so I may have appointed my brother as my attorney, and that power of attorney is there. General power of attorney, my brother. Now that brother can appoint a proxy on my behalf. Who will attend? So that it should be duly authorized in writing. If the appointer is a body corporate, it should be under its seal. Or in case the company does not have a seal, it should be signed by an officer or an attorney, duly authorized. More about attendance of companies at meetings a little later. More about that. How company will be represented in a meeting, we will see it. The proxy, this is very, very important, and problems could come out of this. The proxy shall be filed with the company at its registered office not later than 48 hours before the meeting. So if the time of the meeting is 10 a.m. today, go back 48 hours. Okay, today is 16th. Okay, 16. So 15, 14. So it should be, so if it's 10 a.m., then the proxy should be deposited before 10 a.m. on 14th. It should have been done day before yesterday, before 10 a.m., 48 hours. Okay. So 9:55 on 14th, accepted. Less than that, no. 48 hours before the meeting. Time is very, very important. Which is why best thing is for you to sign it, scan it, and mail it. And then send it. So that mail is accepted. If you send the mail, you already seen now, notices can be given by email. And today, of course, you can scan it, but then keep the original so that tomorrow if they demand the original should be shown. The articles of a company may prescribe a period longer than 48 hours before a meeting of the company for deposit. The articles may say the proxy should be deposited 72 hours before or whatever. If so, Suniya, very, very important. If so, such a provision shall have effect as if the period of 48 hours had been specified. It's not, that provision doesn't become void. You will, any period that you mention in the articles beyond 48 hours, okay, longer than 48 hours will be ignored and that will be read as if it is 48 hours. Okay, agreed. To understand this, let's look at a small practical problem in the light of this understanding. In the light of this understanding. The articles of Ultima Software Limited provides that proxy should be deposited 72 hours prior to the meeting. That is not, see, that's what he says. Sushil has been appointed as proxy for Shekhar Verma to attend the AGM to be held on 22nd July at 10 a.m. He deposited the proxy form with the company at 9:30 a.m. on 20th July 2022. Meeting on 20th July. 48 hours? Yeah. 22, 21, 20. 10 a.m. 9:30 a.m. is deposited. Now the MD of the company is saying, no, you should have deposited 72 hours as per our articles. Is he correct? Jasprit Kaurji, I can understand Hindi, no doubt, but it's too lengthy and I wish you would also communicate in English. Is it very difficult to do that? You are not very fluent in English? Then this is a little, I'm not able to make meaning of what you have written here. I'm not that fluent in Hindi. So small thoda sentences I can understand. This is like essay type question in Hindi. I can't handle that. Please ask in English if you don't mind. Translate it to me in English. Or else you send it in Hindi Lipi. I will put it on Google Translate and read it. Please. Not so much Hindi. Don't overload Hindi into this. Okay. Any answers? Not correct. The MD of this, because of this rule. So in the exam, if you are asked this question, you should clearly answer. Right? This is rule 10.1, and also section says the articles of a company, if they prescribe more than 48 hours, 72 will be read as if it is 48 hours. Therefore, Sushil has correctly deposited, the MD is wrong. Right? Can proxies attend all meetings or only general meeting? Sir, only general meeting. This proxy is what we are now discussing itself is only general meeting. There are, what are the types of meeting? We saw that now. General meeting, board meeting, class meetings. Now, this is applicable only to general meetings. Okay. Member of a company entitled to attend. Okay. So, other meetings that you can't have, especially for a board meeting, you cannot have proxy at all. Director should have come in person. You'll see that when you come to final exam. Why? For a board meeting, there can be no proxy. An instrument appointing a proxy in the form MGT 11 shall not be questioned on the ground that it fails to comply with any special requirement specified for such instrument by the articles of a company. So articles cannot prescribe anything. Form MGT 11 is the format. If it is in that format, the proxy is valid. This is another point you should remember. Very, very important. A proxy shall not have the right to speak at the meeting. Meaning, he cannot argue, he cannot ask questions. On any subject, he has no business to comment. Sorry, because he is a stranger. See, suppose in my house with my parivar, I am having a meeting. My brother sends his brother-in-law to attend. That fellow can come and report back to him. But if he talks immediately, he'll say, look here, you are not part of this family. Shut, chup. So, proxy shall not have the right to speak. Of course, suppose in the meeting they are giving coffee and cashew nut pakoda, fellow can ask for one more cashew nut pakoda. For that he can speak. But on the agenda, no, cannot open your mouth. Okay. And again, when the voting is on show of hands, see, initially voting in a meeting will be on show of hands. One man, one vote. On show of hands, proxy cannot vote. Proxy cannot vote on show of hands. He can vote only on a poll. On a poll, one share, one vote. Ballot papers will be given for each item of agenda. You can say for, against, to sign. Then that many number of votes will be there. So proxy can vote on poll. He can demand a poll. Suppose on show of hands, a matter is decided on show of hands, and proxy is representing a member. The proxy can say, sir, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. So if he is controlling the sufficient number of shares, the percentage is having, then the poll should be ordered by the chairman. Right? We'll see that when we come to demand on demand of a poll. Okay. Should the proxy be a member? No. A proxy need not be a member. But, exception, a member of a company registered under section 8 shall not be entitled to appoint any other person as his proxy unless such other person is also a member. So, in simple line, section 8, member of a section 8 company cannot appoint a non-member as a proxy. Other than section 8, any other company, proxy need not be a member. Okay? In fact, this should be mentioned in the statutory notice I'm going to show you. A member entitled to attend and vote, you'll see that. We'll see that at the time I'll explain. Can a person be a proxy for more than one member? Same man for more than one member? Why not? Yes. In those days, there was no limit. Today, the Act has put a limit. There's a limit, very important. This again could be a question in the exam. A person can act as proxy on behalf of not exceeding 50 members, holding in the aggregate not more than 10% of the total share capital of the company carrying voting rights. So, two conditions are there. In number, it cannot exceed 50. In share capital, it cannot exceed 10% of the total share capital carrying voting rights. Again, there could be differential voting right shares which do not have any votes, only dividend. In those cases, that will not be taken. Otherwise, if it's carrying voting rights, it will be considered. You also know how we have to consider. Here again, they say 10% of the total share capital, not total voting power. Please distinguish between the two. Okay? And be careful which section speaks about what. Here it is total share capital. If there are 2 lakh DVR shares and 1 lakh ordinary shares, total share capital is 3 lakhs. The DVR shares are carrying 1 vote for every 2 shares. Then total voting power is 1 lakh full vote, 2 lakh half vote, that is 1 lakh votes, total 2 lakh votes. Voting power is 2 lakh. Total share capital is 3 lakhs. It's a big difference. All this will be there only if the company has issued differential voting right shares. Normal share capital, no problem. All are equal votes, one share, 1 vote, 10% of the total share capital. Right? A member there is one more sub-condition they have put. First, they are saying a person can act as a proxy on behalf of not exceeding 50 members. That also you should see those 50 members, how much share capital they are holding. That total should not exceed 10% of the total share capital of the company. Agreed. Now, a member holding more than 10%, single member holding more than 10% of the total share capital, carrying voting rights, may appoint a single person as proxy. Agreed. Such person shall not act as proxy for any other person or shareholder. So, if a proxy is appointed by a member who is holding more than 10%, then that proxy cannot act as a proxy for any other person. Only one. So, this is an additional rule you want to remember. Using this, let us see if you can answer this question. Yeah, wherever the act is mentioning something, it will definitely prevail. Even without mentioning, it will prevail over the articles. Here they specifically, expressly say articles will not be valid. It is 48 hours, sir. Kindly, you verify your material again. Check it out. It's 48 hours, not 24 hours. I don't know where you saw 24 hours. I will also check up and tell you. But as of now, please take it as 48 hours. Right? I'll check up. 108, I will check up. Maybe you are right. I don't know. But it's 48. For a long time, it has been 48 hours. I don't think there's an amendment to 24 hours. I'll check up and after. You also do some checking. Let us see now whether you can give the answer. See, the proxy cannot participate in the meeting in the sense he cannot speak. But he can vote on any resolution. Doesn't matter whether it is ordinary or special. Any resolution he can vote. See here, the point is, Mr. Sushil Menon is going to be appointed as a proxy for attending the meeting of Ultima Software at Thiruvananthapuram. Now the point here is, Achyut Menon, Anand Vasudevan, Keshav Guru, Naran Unninair together hold a 10%. But the minute Shekhar Verma comes into the picture, both the conditions are violated. Though the number of members is less than 50, the total share capital held by them will become 22%. Once Shekhar Verma joins, then that itself is out. He cannot be appointed by members. The number should be 50 and also 10% of the total share capital. Plus, the second rule will also be violated. That is, once Shekhar Verma appoints him, more than 10% holder appoints him, he cannot be a proxy for anybody else. So, he has to now choose either to be a proxy for Shekhar Verma or for the remaining fellows. Either Shekhar Verma or the others. That choice the proxy has to first take. But if Sushil Menon attends, okay, now here this is where the disputes will start. Okay, if at all he is appointed by all of them, then the proxy itself is invalid. See, you cannot argue which is correct. So he cannot dare come and say, no, you ignore, I'm a proxy for the first 4 guys, I will be for Shekhar Verma. That choice, I don't know, there will be a big dispute. Only court can decide. In every notice calling a meeting of a company, the articles of which provide for voting by proxy at the meeting, okay, where there is a share capital, or the articles provide for voting by proxy. They shall, because they say this because earlier they say, company not having a share capital, proxies cannot be appointed unless the articles provide. So the articles are providing or the share capital, then a notice should be mentioned very clearly saying in the notice, it should be very clearly, in fact, it should be given in bold. A member entitled to attend and vote is entitled to appoint a proxy or one or more proxies in case it's allowed to attend and vote instead of himself. And a proxy need not be a member. It should be mentioned. If this statutory statutory statement is not appearing in the notice, the meeting is invalid. 1. 2. Penalty of 5,000 for every officer of the company who is in default. Validity of the meeting itself can be questioned on this one thing alone. That's why you have to be very careful while drafting. Every member who is entitled to vote at a meeting of the company or on any resolution shall be eligible to inspect the proxies lodged. Such inspection may be done during the period beginning 24 hours before the time fixed for the commencement of the meeting and ending with the conclusion of the meeting at any time during business hours. Maybe this is the 24 hours Archie Gupta has got sort of concerned about. This is different. See, all proxies are deposited 48 hours before. Now I am a member. I have a doubt these fellows are doing some nonsense. So I am saying I want to see the proxies personally and verify the signatures and all. I can do that during the period beginning 24 hours before the meeting. Why? Because the proxies would have come 48 hours before. Company would have it. I can always demand an inspection. Every member is entitled. When I can do it? At any time beginning 24 hours before the time. So today 10:30 a.m. is the meeting, 17th of June. So 24 hours. So yesterday, okay, 10:31 onwards, till the conclusion of the meeting, I can inspect. Because after the voting also, the meeting is not concluded, I can say, hey, I have doubt. Let's see maybe there's a forgery. I want to see it. That right of inspection can be exercised 24 hours. Is there a confusion between this 24 hours and 48 hours? Archiji, just check up. Not less than 3 days notice in writing of the intention shown to inspect shall be given. So, if you want to inspect, you should give 3 days notice to inspect. Okay? Then you are entitled to inspect it during the period beginning 24 hours and conclusion of the meeting. When you are having doubt, you will do it. See, when all this will happen only when there is a dispute between members. Normal company, all these rules will not even be considered. Statutory notice will be there. That's all. Proxies may not even be appointed. Or if a proxy is appointed, it will be fairly correct. You can go. Only when there is a conflict between two groups and the meeting is being held for some important issues, all these rules will become very important for everybody. Go through it very carefully because anytime you can say the meeting is invalid. Okay. In fact, I have been an advisor to some clubs, which are Section 25 companies. In those days, Section 8 company, where there will be a huge fight in the general meeting. Then they will come to me for consultation or, they ask me, sir, is this correct? Is that correct? What should we do? Like that. So all this will happen. Okay. In case the proxy, the company cannot issue invitations to appoint as proxy a person. Okay. The company cannot send an invitation to appoint as proxy a person or one of a number of persons specified in the invitation to members. That is, the company cannot say, don't bother, you don't attend. Here is a list of people, appoint them as proxy and send it to us, we'll take care. If this is done, see, this can be done by the company cannot do. For example, I am a member holding 20% of the share capital. There is another member, another rival group holding 30%. 20 plus 30, 50. The remaining 50% is distributed among a lot of people. What I can do now, I can write a letter to them saying, hey, general meeting is going to happen, very important meeting. I am planning to oppose what these guys are doing. I know you cannot come. Don't bother. Give me your proxy. On your behalf, I will vote. That is allowed. But this cannot be done by the members. By the company. On behalf of the company, it should not be done. So every officer of the company who issues the invitation on behalf of the company shall be liable to a penalty of 50,000 rupees. Agreed? Now, there's a difference between sending an invitation and providing a list of persons willing to act as proxies. That can be done. The company can make available a list of proxies, but that list should be available to everybody. All the members should be able to call the company and get that list. Then no problem. You give that. See, I want to send a mail to all the members saying, kindly give me your proxy. I don't have a list of members. I can come to the company secretary, please give me a list. If the same right is available to other member also, no problem. But company cannot issue an invitation suggesting to the member, please appoint so-and-so as a proxy. Not valid. Also, the officer who is doing it will be liable to a fine of 50,000 rupees. Now, let me quickly see some of the queries that have happened so that I can answer. I think, Archiji, I think now I have explained 48 and 24. I hope this explanation has come to you. 48 and 24. I think this is the only issue there. Okay. See, there are two reasons here, Milton Kumar Mahantaji. You are giving 22% reason, right? That is one reason. There are two reasons here. Also, Shekhar Verma holding more than 10%. Sushil Menon cannot be a proxy for more than 1%. Shekhar Verma. That also you can mention. That I can understand your doubt. Now, with this, it should be clarified. 48 hours for deposit of proxy. 24 hours for inspection of proxy. Samaj? Great. Now moving on. Thank you for confirming that you have understood, G. Because in a non-interactive virtual meeting, okay, it's like this. Let's hope, that the technology will become so cheap and so reasonable that we can all attend a virtual class on the metaverse. Okay, let's see. I mean, I will not be very old by then. So maybe I will be able to conduct a virtual class in the metaverse. Let's see. Right. Now, in the case of certain companies, not necessarily government companies, the central government or state government, CG means central government, SD means state government, may be a member of the company. Now, when central government or state government is member, how to attend? Who is central government? See, central government itself is a artificial entity. So, the shares will actually be held in the name of the President of India or the governor of the respective state. That is, in our constitution, the President has a very, very peculiar and unique role. Okay, the President of India represents us, not the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, of course, the Prime Minister is the most powerful person, but as far as India is concerned, India is represented by the President. It's a very, very peculiar problem in the Constitution. In fact, I was invited for one, TV program on Constitution where my part was to answer questions on the President, and I was very peculiar. You should read it. But for your information, when you say central government or India, it is the President of India. All the shares will be held in his name. In fact, appointment of all gazetted officers, IAS, IRS, IFS. All the government appointments, you will find they are appointed by the President of India, not by the Prime Minister. They report only to the President. They hold their office at the pleasure of the President of India, for your information. Okay, not the Prime Minister or any minister. No. That way there can be taken up only with. But the problem is the President himself has to listen to the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. It's a very peculiar condition. But still, the President is independent. Okay, for your limited purpose, what you should know, central government ka shares will be held in the name of the President. State government ka shares will be held in the name of the Governor. Okay, in such cases, the President or Governor, as the case may be, may appoint such person as he thinks fit. Obviously, President cannot attend meetings. He's already got so much. The Governor has got so much protocol work to attend to, meetings and all that. So he cannot come. Therefore, he may appoint such person. Who will be that person? Suppose that ministry there is an under secretary, the top secretary, or in the state government. That person will be appointed. That's based on seniority of the civil servant. Only a civil servant will be appointed invariably, or some other suitable person, as he thinks fit, to act as his representative. So now that will be the president letterhead. It will be governor letterhead. So I appoint so and so as my representative to attend the meeting of Kochi Refineries Limited or whatever, Cochin Refineries Limited or whatever, Indian Oil Corporation, whatever. Now, once this authorization is given, this person becomes the representative, is a member attending in person. Please understand, the president is authorizing his representative. Now, that guy is not a proxy. That guy is a member attending in person. Such person will have the same rights and powers as the president, or as maybe the governor would exercise as a member of the company, which means he has the right to appoint a proxy, including the right to vote by proxy or on postal ballot. So got it? President or governor is the owner of the share on behalf of the country, on behalf of all of us. The president is holding the shares on he is holding on behalf of all of us. Now, the central government has to attend. President cannot attend. He authorizes Mr. X. Now, X has the same rights as a member. And X in turn can appoint a proxy to vote. And X can vote on a postal ballot. Got it? Similarly, a body corporate, whether a company within the meaning of this act or not, okay, maybe a member or creditor or debenture holder of a company. Somebody was asking question about corporation. See, the word corporate means to give life. Incorporate means to give life. Okay, corporate means to give life. Corporate, movement, give movement. But corporeal means body. When I am having a body, I am corporeal. When I don't have a body, I am incorporeal. Okay, fine. Corporate means artificially we are giving life to an entity, but that entity is an artificial person. He has no physical presence. So how will the company attend in person? Same logic. When the company is a member or a debenture holder or a creditor, the company cannot attend here. Come on. It's not yet happened. Okay. So such body corporate may appoint such person as it thinks fit to act as its representative at any meeting. Similar to president and governor. How it will happen? Obviously, how will the company take a decision? It will be the board of directors will have to meet and they have to pass a resolution. Okay, resolve that Mr. A, B, and is hereby appointed as a representative to attend the meeting of the other company, XYZ Limited, on behalf of the company. Okay. Now this person who is authorized by a resolution of the board or the governing body, because this section does not apply only to a company. It applies to any body corporate, an LLP or a corporation formed with the Act of Parliament, whatever. Okay. In all cases, they will have a governing body. That governing body will appoint a person to represent. That person will have the same rights and powers. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I cut and paste and I immediately, I'm so sorry. Only a single word is needed, right? See, this is the problem with cut and paste work. Because I saw a lot of similarities. That is why when you are preparing also, if you see similarities between two sections, learn them together. Also, I have consciously moved this section here. Do you notice it? I am not going by the section order. That's not a good idea. Institute material, for reasons of logic and because you people are auditors, you will verify whether all sections have been covered. So they give it in section order. But intelligence student, Chamatkar student will read it in topic relationship. So these two sections actually, I'm so sorry, I should correct the section number also. Before one of you point it out, let me correct it. Before one of you correct me, let me correct it. Representation of corporations at meetings is 113, whereas this is 112, right? 112. Whatever it is, the principle is the same. Do you understand the principle operating here? An artificial entity like a company cannot attend the meeting. The president cannot attend. President is not artificial. President is a real human being. But in fact, when we say President of India, we are not talking about the person now occupying that position. We are talking about the position itself. Am I correct? When I drink a toast to the President of India in my Masonic meeting, definitely I am drinking a toast to the man now in that position. But more importantly, I am respecting the position. Please understand. Which is why the post of president will never become vacant. If anything happens to the president, but long may he live. If anything happens to him, automatically vice president will take over. Till the next president is elected by the elected Congress and he comes. Similar to the Queen of England or the King of England. The Queen of England dies, immediately there will be a successor. 7th level successor also do that automatically. That is why in England, when the Queen or King dies, they will say, the Queen is dead, long live the Queen. Or King is dead, long live the King. Because immediately they will say, long live the King. Just as a matter of interest, though I am digressing, the current Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, became a queen very long ago. Okay, long ago. Immediately after the Second World War, her father George VI, he died. He became. You might have seen King's Speech, no? That same man. He died. That second daughter is Elizabeth. She goes on to become the Queen of England. So it's a beautiful, Jim Corbett moved from India to Kenya, and he had his own forest, he had a game reserve where Elizabeth, then not the queen, she came with her. She got newly married and came for her honeymoon. And she stayed in a tree house. Corbett had put them in the tree house in the evening after the dinner. Then he had said good night and gone. That night, George VI passes away and he gets a telegram. And Corbett goes in the morning to wake her up. He says, this was a lady who went up a tree as an ordinary person and came down as a Queen of England. It's a story I read somewhere in Corbett's memoirs. Just thought I would share it. So that means these positions are more important than the person, right? And bodies corporate are artificial. They can't attend. Therefore, this is the procedure. Okay? See, all this will become relevant only in context. Suppose in your company, government is the side, then you have to be careful. You have to ensure that, you cannot assume an IAS officer walks into the meeting. You have to go to him and say, sir, do you have an authorization letter? All that will be filed and you have to keep it in the records. Otherwise, any resolution passed at a meeting can be questioned. Any of these grounds, please remember, any of these rules are not obeyed, the meeting is invalid. If you say the meeting is invalid, the resolution is out. So the act taken by the company is also invalid. This is the sequence. Good. We now move on. Okay. I know many of you will be, okay, suddenly I get, good morning. Absolutely, Pooja, you have summarized it as usual very beautifully. 48 hours prior notice to appoint. No, the proxy form should be deposited 48 hours before the meeting. Not less than, it should be deposited at least 48 hours before the meeting. Not less than that. Okay, anytime, but 48 hours. And inspection, if you want to make, you can do the inspection 24 hours, beginning 24 hours before the meeting. But notice should be given 3 days before. Absolutely correct. Beautifully summarized. Can PM, not PM, President, don't use the word PM. In the Constitution, Prime Minister is different. His powers are different, right? It is the President. For your information, all decisions are taken by the President on the recommendation of the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. But everything is done by the President. And the act becomes an act of Parliament when it is passed in Parliament, and then it has to get the assent of the President of India. Of course, it is only a sort of a formality, but the President can refuse to give his assent. It has happened twice in the history of India. Twice the President has refused to give us his assent to the act. So, President is a very powerful role. That role was played effectively by many people, of course, including Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. They had their own way of doing it. Okay. Can PM or governor receive dividend? No, sir. The shares are held by the central government or state government. The shares are held by the central government or state government. So the dividend will be received by the respective ministry or the department. The shares are held by them now. So if, for example, if Indian Oil Corporation is giving dividend, it will not go to the President of India. No way. It will go to the government kitty. Okay? That's a huge amount that they get. Dividend is one of the revenue sources for the government. India is a peculiar country where government is running businesses. So the government will get the money, not the president or the governor. No way. He's on behalf of he is a representative himself in a way. Okay, he may appoint a representative. That person will be treated as a member. That representative can appoint a proxy. This is the sequence. So moving on, we are now getting into a little important area. See, this is a humongous topic, and we are getting into one of the longest two sections in this topic is voting through electronic means and postal ballot. Okay, I will explain it to you. Hopefully, inshallah, we should be able to complete it today, but I doubt we can do it. Not a problem. We'll do. If you can make good progress, I'll be happy. Now, the whole purpose and point, and of course, I will give a small break at 8:30. Don't get into withdrawal symptoms. I will give you a break. Don't worry. Time now is going to be 7:51. 8:30, small break will be given. We'll go until 9:30. Okay? Don't go into withdrawal symptoms. Our breaks. Okay. Methods of voting. Voting by show of hands. Voting on poll. Voting through electronic means. Voting through postal ballot. 4 methods of voting. The whole purpose of this meeting, purpose of this is, why am I inviting all these guys here for a meeting, etc., to have fun with them? No. As I told you, this is not a social club or a Rotary club or a Masonic meeting where all of us come together to have a good time and to do certain things and common interest. This is a purpose of the meeting is to vote. Purpose of the meeting is to take up the agenda items and vote for against, so that at the end of the day, at the end of a meeting, the resolution should be passed or not. So that is done by voting. So initially, voting is by show of hands. At any general meeting, a resolution put to the vote of the meeting shall, unless a poll is demanded under section 109 or the voting is carried out electronically, be decided on a show of hands. See, company has 10 shareholders. All are known to each other. No dispute, nothing. They want to pass a resolution for statutory purpose. They have to pass a resolution. Maybe amendment of the memorandum. Everybody is clear on there. They have to amend it. They're going to borrow money from the bank. They're going to get into one new activity which is not mentioned in the memorandum. Bank says, amend your amendment. Because bank is worried about doctrine of ultra vires. So the bank says, see, you are borrowing for a particular purpose. This is not covered in your memorandum object class. Kindly amend your object. That's all. So what to do? Call the company secretary. Company secretary comes. What to do? Immediately he says, sir, resolution is to be passed. Okay, pass it. No, sir, I cannot pass it. Members have to come in. So we should have a meeting. Right, chalo, do something, call a meeting. So at that meeting, all 10 of them come. All are clear on what they are doing. So why waste time? The chairman will simply say, all those in favor raise their hand. Everybody raises the hand. That's all. Resolution is passed. So voting by show of hands is given as an easy way. If you have no dispute, everybody is clear, show of hands is good. Then the chairman will record it, the minutes will be, the chairman will confirm it, and the secretary will note it. So and so the following resolution was put to vote. The resolution was passed unanimously by show of hands. That's all. Over. But suppose there are members who are not happy. They feel, no sir, there should be a poll. Now, let me give you an example when there would be a poll. When we come to demand on poll, I will explain to you with a number example, you will understand why a poll is better than show of hands. But suppose there is no problem, all our friends, all our family, then voting by show of hand is good enough. But if a poll is demanded, or where the voting is carried out electronically, then question of show of hands doesn't arise. Only a poll. When e-voting you cannot combine show of hands and e-voting, because on e-voting number of share, whereas here. So when voting is carried out electronically, no show of hands, right? or if a poll is demanded, so the first instance voting by show of hands. But if a poll is demanded or if the voting is carried out electronically, then show of hands cannot be used. Now, suppose show of hands is preferred. Nobody is objecting, no poll is demanded. Only 10 members, all are attending in person, physically. Then, a declaration by the chairman of the meeting of the passing of a resolution or otherwise, whether it's passed or defeated. Otherwise here means not passed. See, there can be only two situations. Resolution is put to vote. Either it can be passed or it can be not passed. Maybe defeated, maybe abandoned, not passed, passed. Only two options are there, right? Whatever has happened, a declaration by the chairman as to the result of the voting is a conclusive evidence, and it should be entered in the minutes book. Once at the meeting it is done, the chairman confirms it, entered in the minutes, it becomes conclusive evidence. What do you mean by conclusive evidence? It cannot be questioned. That is all. You cannot later on come to the court and say, no, it did not happen that way. That fellow was frightening us. He threatened us with a gun and made us vote. Could have happened, but sorry, this is too late to take it up now. So the fact that it is a conclusive, that it is there. Then why did you raise your hand? Okay, should not have. So whatever has happened on show of hands, if no objection is raised, no poll is demanded, then the result of the show of hands, as announced by the chairman and recorded in the minutes, is the conclusive evidence. See, show of hands is meant for convenience. Please understand that. Show of hands is not a very elegant method of voting if the number is more than 50. If it's slightly crowded, itself voting by show of hands will fail you. You have to count the hand. Fellow will put it up, fellow will put it down, fellow will put two hands up. All nonsense. So it can happen only with small numbers. I'm using 10 as my limit. If it goes beyond 10 itself, it doesn't work. And even with smaller numbers, still a poll may be demanded. I will explain to you. Demand for poll. When a poll will be demanded? Let me first explain to you when a poll is logical. Think about it. A company has 3 shareholders. A company has 3 shareholders. Right? Now, one shareholder is holding 60% of the shares. The other 2 are holding 20-20 each. A resolution is to be passed with respect to an important item of agenda. Important matter concerning the long-term strategy of the company. A resolution is to be passed. Now, the 3 members are attending. Right? A holding 60%, B holding 40%, C holding 40%. C is elected as the chairman. Chalo, C is elected as chairman. Now the chairman puts the resolution to vote. Chairman puts the resolution to vote. Okay? He says, all those in favor, raise your hand. Ordinary resolution is to be passed. Ordinary resolution is to be passed. He says, all those in favor, raise your hand. The B and C raise their hand. A keeps quiet. A keeps quiet. Now, on a show of hands, one man, one vote. The resolution has been passed. The chairman is about to announce the result. At that time, A puts up his hand and says, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. So when he can do that? Before or on declaration of the result of the voting. So C is going to say, I declare that I want a poll. Okay. Now, a poll can be ordered by the chairman on his own motion. Means suo motu. He can decide. See, a fair chairman would say, hey, show of hands won't work here. Yeah. Let's have a poll. But normally no chairman will want to do that. He will simply say, raise your hand, counted, I passed it. Because chairman wants to do what he wants now. But if the chairman prefers to go by voting by show of hands, before or on declaration of the result of the voting on show of hands, a poll may be demanded. See, I'm sure you've heard of the word poll, right? Elections, polling. What happens in polling? We choose our representatives. No, poll is nothing but voting. Let's stop. Polling and voting, same. Now, the only point is on show of hands, one man, one vote. On a poll, one share, one vote. Now tell me, once A demands a poll, A is holding 60%, B20, C20. Now A demands a poll. Voting by show of hands, B and C can pass the resolution. Majority 2:1. But once a poll is demanded, how many votes? Say, let us say the company has 1 lakh shares. 1 lakh shares. A is holding 60,000 shares. B and C are holding 20 each. 20,000, 20,000. Now tell me, on a poll, who will get the majority? A will get the majority because he is controlling 60,000 shares. Are you able to understand? So if A demands a poll, the chairman shall order a poll. There is no option. You already know the meaning of may and shall. Shall order a poll. Okay, he shall. There is no option. Provided the poll is demanded by the requisite number of members. Requisite number. As we already saw requisite number in 100. We are going to see one more time. 3 times you will see requisite number. We saw it in 100. We are now seeing it on 109. You will again see it in circulation of members' resolutions 111. Again you will see it. Requisite number. But there 111 links you to 100. No problem. 109 has its own limit. Let us see. Members present in person or by proxy. Please note, even when I appoint a proxy, I am a member present by proxy. Okay. So members present in person or by proxy are allowed. Proxies are allowed and having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. 1/10 of the total voting power. Or holding shares on which an aggregate sum of not less than 5 lakh rupees has been paid up. So either you hold 1/10 or 5 lakh. See, suppose the paid up capital of the company is huge. Then one person may not hold 1/10, but he may be holding 5 lakh rupees worth. Face value of the share is 5 lakhs. Okay. Aggregate sum has been paid up. Please understand, face value. 5 lakh rupees face value. If I'm holding shares having the nominal value of 5 lakhs or above, even though I'm not holding 1/10, I can demand a poll. Though the word whichever is less is not given here, it is implied. Either this or that. So 1/10 is maybe less than 5 lakhs. If you're holding 1/10, yes. Or 5 lakh may be less than 1/10. But if you're holding 5 lakh and above, not less than 5 lakhs, then you can demand a poll. In our example, A was holding 60,000 shares out of 100,000 shares. More than 1/10. He can demand. Even members having 1/10. But let me be practical. If I am holding only 20% of the total shares, I can demand a poll. But after that, what I will do? On a poll, what happens? Whoever holding the majority shares will get it. So this is a tool available to a majority shareholder or a group of shareholders who control the majority to ask for a poll. But if you are not having the majority in your control, calling for a poll will not help you. See, again, suppose Mr. A is holding 30% shares. B and C are holding 70 together. Then he can demand a poll. After that, what will happen? On a poll, what will happen? B and C will vote for, A will vote against, 30 against 70. Maybe if it's a special resolution, you have a chance. If it is a special resolution, you have a chance. But you are holding 30% means the minimum votes that should be cast in favor is 30% against means 90%. 30 votes against means 90 votes for. That's not going to happen. Therefore, you can, special resolution you can defeat. But ordinary resolution, nothing can be done. Okay? That's the point. Hope what I'm telling is clear to you. Very interesting area. I call this as the dynamics of corporate meetings. I call it as corporate meeting dynamics or corporate dynamics. This is how meetings of companies become exciting, especially when there's a dispute between parties. But bottom line, pragmatically, we should be clear, ma. Are you controlling majority? See, day before yesterday, I had a conference meeting in my office. 2 directors of a company had come. There was a 3rd director. All the 3 are also members. And according to them, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Each of them is holding 1/3, 1/3. Same ABC example, but B and C together hold 66.66 now. A is holding 33.33, right? Now, they want to oust A. They want to send A out of the business. So that was my consultation, and I was giving them some suggestions based on various sections of the Companies Act, which some of which is out of your syllabus. Removal of a director, but special notice is there in your syllabus. When I come there, I'll tell you how to do it, how to give the special notice, how to conduct the meeting. See, now you understand when there's a dispute, it comes. So I was advising them. In fact, you might ask me, sir, you are a practicing chartered accountant. Why you are doing all this? Sorry, I'm also a company secretary by qualification, and I love the law. So some people think I have some knowledge of this law, and they come to me for consultation. Though I'm not a practicing company secretary. Agreed. Okay. Though I don't know which form to file, which thing to upload and all that, I don't know. But the law is different. The law I can advise. Then the mechanics of it, I'll send them to a company secretary who will do it for them. That is not a problem. The mechanics can be done by a company secretary. But the strategy, okay, that we can give. We are entitled to give as members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Right. Other companies not having a share capital companies, any member or members present in person or by proxy were allowed and having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. Suppose it's a club. The club has 200 members. Then one member, one voting. Section 8 company, club, one member, one voting. How many votes are there? 200 votes. Okay, then how many members should ask? One member cannot do it now. Minimum out of 200, 20 members should ask. 20, 1/10 of the total voting. That's all. Okay. Sir, anybody can demand a poll. In our example, A had 60%, B had 20, C had 20. So 20, 20, 40. They are holding more than 10%. They can demand a poll. They can demand a poll. But if they demand a poll, what they will do with it? At the end, on a poll, who will win? A only will win. So that is why they will try to do voting by show of hands and try to run away. But if A is smart, he will demand a poll because on a poll, he will get the edge, not B and C. Got it? So you should think practically. This is of any use or not for me. Simply because it is there, there is no point in demanding. If B and C, see in my example, 66.66% Walas are having control. They can do anything. They can remove a director. This is the advice I gave them. You can remove a director. The first question was, sir, how to send him out of the business? Immediately, I asked them, how much shares are you controlling? Because suppose he is controlling 60% and you are controlling 40%, forget it. Even if you have 100 meetings, every meeting he will win, yeah, because he's got, no, sir, it's all equal. Then you have a chance. You can do. Even then, they cannot pass a special resolution. Without his support, they cannot pass a special resolution. Okay, because 3 times now, it's not going to happen that way. Anyway, but here, for removing a director, ordinary resolution, they can pass. For that, there is a legal procedure. I'm giving them the consultation and all that. Okay. So this is the answer to Archie's question. Fantastic. Now, we are making good time, yeah. I'm very happy. But there's still one humongous topic is there, electronic voting and postal ballot. Ooh. Okay, even I am little worried about teaching you. Forget you are studying it. Most boring area. But what I will do is I will make it simple. But devil is in the details. Don't go into details. Understand the principle and move on. That's all I would humbly suggest to you. Understand the principle. That is more important. Mugging up, no. Understand, yes. Understand, analyze, answer. Mug up, don't understand, mug up, then you will get confused. Okay. Now, when should a poll be taken? A poll demanded for adjournment or appointment of chairman of the meeting shall be taken forthwith. You cannot postpone it. Boss, the question itself is whether to adjourn or not. If the chairman says, I will adjourn, it's, come on, yeah. So, whether to adjourn or not, decide now. Okay, that is the point. Because some people may want adjournment, some people may not want adjournment. Now, those who want adjournment, if you say we will adjourn for deciding whether to adjourn, you are helping those guys who want adjournment. Why they want adjournment? Because they want to escape. They want to avoid. What they are planning is maybe At the adjourned meeting, they will prevent these people from, those who are asking the inconvenient question, they will prevent them from attending. And they will hold the meeting later and pass the resolution without these guys asking inconvenient questions. So then these guys are saying, no, sir, whether to adjourn or not, you decide now. Such a poll shall be taken forthwith. Forthwith means immediately. No postponement. Similarly, a chairman is elected by show of hands. We'll see that in the next slide. We'll see. When you come to chairman again, I'll talk about it. Now, a poll demanded on any question other than adjournment of the meeting or appointment of chairman shall be taken at such time, not being later than 48 hours from the time when the demand was made, as the chairman of the meeting may direct. Okay. So, any other matter, a poll should be taken within 48 hours, not later than 48 hours. Now, the demand for a poll may be withdrawn at any time by the persons who made the demand. At any time. See, they might have demanded a poll, later on they agree to it. Okay, chalo, yeah, forget it. No need for poll. Who can withdraw? The people who demanded can withdraw, but not other people. Now, again, I am covering chairman here because chairman is linked with poll. That's why I'm covering chairman here. Chairman, so you might find that I'm not going in the order of section. Suppose you are using the institute cup, if you are keeping the institute material open in front of you and trying to follow it, you will go mad. Searching here and there. So, suggestion, don't do it. But if you still want to do it, go to 104. So, we have finished 109 now, demand. Now, sorry, you have to go back to 104. In between, we moved forward to 112, 113 and all. I'll keep jumping like that. Because for me, the sections are not sequential sections. For me, each section is unique in itself. So if I need to give a solution to a client, I need to pick sections. I'll also pick section from out of your syllabus. You have the convenience of saying it's not in my syllabus. I don't have the convenience of saying not in my syllabus. I was watching a movie recently where the villain, he will also be a doctor. So one patient will come and ask him for some doubt. He will say, there is a doctor in the next fifth building. You go to him. Are you not a doctor now? The day when this topic was taught, I didn't go to college. So like that, I cannot say that I didn't attend the class when they taught this topic. Sorry, we are professionals. We are supposed to know everything. Even if you don't know, you should have the capability to study and come. Maximum one day, 24 hours, we can ask. Within 24 hours, you should become authority on that point. That is the talent. Knowing everything is not a great thing. Ability to know at a short notice and advise client. That is the talent you have to become. This is my experience. Over the long period, I have noticed acts are changing, law is changing. This is an entirely new law, boss. You took the 56 Act and gave me a totally new law. I have to learn it again. Okay? That is the ability you have to build up. Nothing is static. Everything is dynamic. Move. Dance with the wind. Move on. Be flexible. This is the Taraka mantra for the next 20 years. Okay. Who is the chairman of a meeting? Chairman is kind of a person who manages and controls the meeting. Right? He's like a traffic policeman. See, the traffic policeman sits in the middle of the 4-road junction, and then he waves, you go, you don't go. So because of that policeman, the whole traffic is properly organized. Similarly, it is the job of the chairman to ensure that the meeting goes on smoothly. For that, he has been given complete authority on deciding on matters of decorum till the meeting is concluded. He has full power. In fact, in company meetings, chairmen do not have a gavel. There's something called a gavel. It will be like a small hammer. Okay, but it's not a hammer or a mallet. It is a gavel. Okay, slight difference there. But then now it will look like a hammer only. Like, you've seen Thor has a hammer or Odin has a hammer. Same hammer, but it will be smaller and you'll hold it. And it can be used to bang, to bring decorum. But in company meetings, gavels are not used. But in those days, chairman of meeting was given a gavel. Gavel is a symbol of power. And it is given to him so that he can control the meeting. Okay, and bring control and peace. So then so he has complete authority on deciding on matters of decorum till the meeting is concluded. In fact, many times in my Rotary Club or in my Masonic Lodge, people tell me, Srikant, tomorrow we are having an important matter to be discussed. To kindly chair the meeting. Because they know if I sit in the chair, things will go on. Even if people are having dispute, I will tell them, please have a dispute, but behave with decorum. You got a point, you make it. Sit. Now you got a point, you make it. Okay, we've heard both these gentlemen. Anybody else wants to say anything else? Kindly speak. That it is the chairman's job to give every voice an opportunity to be heard. But at the end of it, I will say, gentlemen, you have heard the proposals and you have heard the arguments for and against. Now it is time to vote. That's all. Then I will conduct the voting on a poll and decide. Then once the polling is done, I will announce the result of the polling and say, this is it. Motion defeated or motion passed, go on with it. Nobody can dispute because everything went in a transparent process. Your motion got defeated. Yeah, what can I do? You didn't have enough number of votes. It's not my problem, right? So many times I've done it in meetings and people love me for that and they keep calling me because if that is not there, everybody will be shouting all nonsense. One fellow will walk out. This walk out and all I will never permit. If somebody is trying to walk out, I'll say, please come. What is your problem? No, I am not happy. Boss, wait for the voting. Then you go. If you are defeated, then you go. Till then, don't walk out because your one vote is lost. Don't go. Wait. Immediately, correct. He will sit down. Okay. Then only he realizes that if he walks out, one vote is lost. Okay. So after the voting is over, if you are defeated, you feel unhappy about it. Please go. Yeah. Who's holding you after that? Please go. Okay. Like that. See the point. I mean, maybe I'm giving you unnecessary information, but as somebody rightly pointed out, then see these are all flavors of what really happens in meetings. Okay. Now, on conclusion of the meeting, he has to ensure that the minutes have been correctly recorded. In the next class or so, we will talk about minutes. Okay. When the chairman decides what goes in and what does not go out, the chairman has prima facie authority to decide all questions which arise at a meeting and which require decision at that time. He can take the decision. Later on in a court, his decision may be questioned. At that meeting, his decision is final. But one important quality is a chairman should be strictly impartial. Please note, he has a vote. In fact, he also has a casting vote. You'll see that. But while conducting the meeting, he should be strictly impartial. See, there may be a matter coming up. As a chairman, I may have one view, which may be for or against. But I cannot say those who are against will keep quiet. No, allow them to talk. In fact, as a chairman, I will first ensure that the against wallahs will get full opportunity to talk. Talk fully. Tell whatever you want to tell. Then tomorrow, don't come and complain that we were not even allowed to talk. You talk. Let him also talk. Then we'll decide. Then let the members decide whether who is right and vote. So impartiality is one of the hallmarks of a good chairman. So unless the articles of the company otherwise provide, you know what the articles of company can provide? One matter, they can say the chairman of the board of directors will be the chairman of the meetings. They can say that. The chairman of the board is there now. That person will automatically become the chairman of general meeting. They can say that. If such provisions are not there, then the members personally present shall elect one of themselves. Please note, the members personally present at the meeting shall elect one of themselves. Only a member attending in person can be elected to the chair, to be the chairman thereof on a show of hands. So initially, election of chairman is to be by show of hands. But if a poll is demanded on the election of chairman itself, then that shall be taken forthwith. See, ABC example again. C is elected to the chair. Now A immediately says, poll. Once a poll is taken, A has got 60,000, he can become the chairman. He can propose himself and become the chairman. Of course, there will be one small problem here. He will propose himself, but there will be nobody to second him. That's okay, chalo. Anyway, a poll is demanded, now the poll will decide. So if a poll is demanded on the election of the chairman, it shall be taken forthwith. The chairman elected on show of hands shall continue to be the chairman unless and until until some other person is elected, unless some other person is elected. If some other person is not elected, then he will continue. But if somebody else is elected, then he will cease to be the chairman, and such other person shall be the chairman for the rest of the meeting. Right? Chairman has a casting vote. Please understand. Chairman will have a normal vote. As a member, I am having one vote. Yeah. If I am having 50 shares, I will have 50 votes. Right? Now voting is over. Votes in favor have been cast. Votes against have been cast. Now they are equal. Equal. That means what? Both for 50 votes, against 50 votes. Tie. This is an additional vote available to the chairman, which he will use when there is a tie. When the number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast against. Right? In such a case, the chairman may use his casting vote to ensure that the resolution is passed there. Please understand, I am the chairman. I am in favor of the resolution. I have already exercised my vote. After counting my vote, it is equal. For and against equal. Now I get one more vote. Now, if I want the resolution to pass, I will put my vote and pass it. But if I don't want the resolution to pass, what happens? 50-50 means the resolution is deemed to be dropped. The resolution is not passed. If you get majority only, it is passed. Why will I give that majority? I will declare that the resolution has not been passed. Okay? If the chairman does not use his casting vote, if there is no provision in the articles for a casting vote, then an ordinary resolution on which there is a tie is deemed to be dropped. Okay. Be careful. There can be no tie for a special resolution. For example, number of votes cast against is 3. Now, number of votes cast in favor is 9. Exactly 3 times the number of votes cast against. Is the resolution passed? Yes, it is passed. This is not an example of tie. Tie is only for ordinary resolution, where number of votes cast in favor is exactly equal to the number of votes cast against. Then and only then, if there is a provision in the articles, the chairman can exercise a single casting vote and tip the favor. He will do it only if he is in favor of the resolution. If he is not in favor, he will simply keep quiet. The meet motion is defeated. That's all. Okay. Once a poll is demanded, okay, where there are many number of members, numerous members are there, we will complete demand of poll and have a break. So I know you are all eager for a break, but wait for a okay. We'll quickly complete this. So what happens? Now, poll is a long-winded process now. We have to prepare polling sheet, then we have to put the resolution, then below that we have to put for, against, all that printouts are taken. That is why it's very, very difficult. See, on election of chairman also, if a poll is taken forthwith, what I should do? I should ask the secretary to prepare polling sheets, which is why an intelligent company secretary will keep polling sheets ready. The polling, see what happens now, the polling sheet will have the resolution, then registered folio number of the member, right? Number of shares, then for, against. That's all. He has to put an X either in for or in against. Then you have to count. That's all. It's a very simple process. Now to do this, the chairman may not be able to do it. He can't do everything. So he can appoint scrutinizers or scrutinizers. Okay, they are called scrutinizers. The scrutinizers are very, very important. They will come in postal ballot. They will come in e-voting. Everywhere the scrutinizer will come. Ideally, put a company secretary as a scrutinizer. Safe. Because those guys, very meticulously, they will do it. Okay. So such people will be appointed. The chairman of the meeting shall have the power to regulate the manner in which the poll shall be taken. The scrutinizer should be provided with the register of members, specimen signatures of the members, attendance register, register of proxies and all. So that, in fact, the scrutinizer, invariably it will be a company secretary. Ideally, if I were asked, I would say, have a company secretary. His assistants will also come, and then they will be given all the proxies, authorization documents under 112, 105, 112, 112, everything, proxies under 105, authorization documents under 112 and 113. They will keep everything. Then they will arrange the proxy polling papers and distribute them to the members physically. Okay. And then once the voting is over, they will collect it count the votes and inform the chairman. That is the job of the scrutinizer. They have to do it meticulously. That is why usually the scrutinizer would be either a member of the Chartered Accountants of Institute or cost accountant or a company secretary or advocate. But ideally, have a company secretary is my suggestion. Where there is a joint shareholder, the polling paper shall be given to the first named holder or in his absence to the other joint holder attending the meeting. So, the minute you say joint shareholders, any provision, remember, everything will be done only to the first guy. Dividend will be paid only to the first guy. See, everything will be only to the first guy. First named guy. If the first named guy is not there, then the other joint holder can vote. So on a poll, it's not as if joint shareholders will get double. Even voting by show of hands, if there are joint shareholders attending, only one fellow can raise. The first mention can raise. Second fellow's hand will not be taken. In fact, that is one of the reasons why, proxy cannot vote on a show of hands. Because I may be a proxy for 10 people, boss. How many hands I will raise? Am I Ravana? Okay, even if I'm Ravana, I have 20 hands. Suppose I'm representing 30, I can't lift my leg, all that. So, physical impossibility is one reason why proxy is not allowed to vote on a poll. A vote on show of hands. You can demand a poll. On a poll, shares. Right? The polling paper shall be in form MGT 12. The proxy form is MGT 11. Polling form is MGT 12. Now, this is all boring stuff. That's why I said give it to a company secretary. The scrutinizer shall keep a record of the polling papers. The scrutinizer shall lock and seal an empty polling box in the presence of the members. It will be like a voting box. Normally we go for voting, right? For your elections. There will be a box there, right? Sealed. There will be a seal and a hole there in which you push your poll. That's what will happen here also. Then once the polling is over, the polling box will be opened in the presence of two witnesses. And if there is any ambiguity, the chairman and scrutinizers will decide. For example, a guy has ticked in both X's or yes, all nonsense they will do. They will write some things and all on that polling sheet. It's nothing. You put an X, that's all. For, against, X. Decide. How difficult is that? Is it rocket science? But still fellows will do all nonsense in that polling sheet. Okay? They'll opinion and all, the chairman is an ass or so-and-so is a criminal. They'll write in the polling sheet. They ask you all these things. The scrutinizer shall ensure that if a member who has appointed a proxy has voted in person, the proxy's vote shall be disregarded. Okay, broader question. If the proxy has been appointed and the member attends in person, what will happen? Proxy cannot vote. Once a member attends in person, the proxy is cancelled. I appoint a proxy, proxy can vote. But once I attend in person, 2 votes cannot be given. Proxy's vote will be disregarded. In fact, the proxy itself is invalid. I am attending in person automatically. Agency is, when the principal himself comes, the agent is removed. Okay. The scrutinizer shall count the votes cast on poll, prepare a report and give it to the chairman. Okay. Now, we will also be seeing voting by electronic means. Now, in those cases also, polling is not going to happen in physical form. It's going to be done online. That's all the difference. Instead of having physical form sheet where I will put, I'm going to get a link to an electronic site, URL, where I will go and I will say X, for, against, submit. That's all. All that will be coming and getting into my server. Now, in those cases, the scrutinizer should be given a technical support to lock that server so that nobody can meddle with it and all. Very difficult. You need to be aware of information technology. Ideally, you should lock it up with a password. The password will be known only to the scrutinizer. Nobody else will know the password. So, it will be IP. See, the input will go. But if somebody wants to see the result of the poll, it will be IP controlled. Only from the scrutinizer's IP it can go, and that will be only allowed, and only he can open it using his password, nobody else. That is how we have to lock it. When it comes to e-voting, I'll tell you. The scrutinizer's report shall state total votes cast, valid votes, votes in favor and against, and finally whether it has been passed or defeated. Okay. This will be signed, given to the chairman, who will countersign and keep it. This has to be prepared. The chairman shall declare the result of voting on poll, either in person or by a person authorized by him in writing. The scrutinizer will submit a report to the chairman in form MGT 13. The report shall be signed by the scrutinizer if there is more than one by all of them, and it will be kept by the chairman. It should be submitted to the chairman within 7 days. The results of the poll shall be deemed to be the decision of the meeting on the resolution, once declared by the chairman. Right? The scrutinizer should ensure proper conduct of the polling process, maintain proper records of the poll, submit a report to the chairman giving the details, and ensure compliance with section 109 and rule 21, which we have now discussed in fully. Okay. We are now going to go through voting through electronic e-voting or electronic voting. Electronic means voting by electronic means. This is a good opportunity for us to have a small break. Before that, any questions, I'll just check. When the proxy should give name before 42. Okay, sir. Notice should be made. Why do you use 72 hours, Archie? It says 3 days. Don't use a different word. Don't try to make it uniform by saying 24, 48, 72. 48 hours before proxy deposited, 24 hours before you can inspect. Notice of inspection should be given 3 days before. The word used is 3 days. Though 3 days is 72 hours, but don't do that stunt. No. Never use your own words. Always prefer to use the words used in the section. My humble request to you. Yes, the instrument used by the judge is called a gavel. Gavel. Judges. The symbol of the judge is the gavel. Yes. Chairman also sits in a judgmental position only. Impartiality is, in fact, one of the important qualities of a judge is impartiality. Impartial is unbiased, as somebody rightly has put. Proxy, can he be appointed as chairman? You tell me. You tell me. Can he be appointed? You tell me. Those members personally present shall elect one of themselves to be the chairman. Now you tell me, can a proxy be appointed as a chairman? Hitesh I'm seriously, I want you to confirm that you have understood the point. Or if you have a different view, I would love to hear that. How a proxy can be appointed as a chairman? The answer is no. To give you a straight answer, no, chairman, proxy cannot be appointed as a chairman because of this provision. But if you think, I would love to know your view. Because Hitesh is one guy whom I have a lot of regard for. Hitesh, Prabhas Jain, Hitesh Jain, all the Jains. They're all really brilliant. I would love to hear from you. If chairman does not want to become chairman of particular, then how the chairman? Hey, we elect him, he says no, then we have to elect another chairman. That's all. Okay. It's a very mundane question. See, we elect Mr. A says I'm not interested, then you have to elect somebody else. That's all. Again, by show of hands, same routine, ma. You did show of hands. Guy says, sorry, I don't want to be. Then again, by show of hands, another poll, cycle, keep on cycling. See, I totally agree with you. Again, I'm unable to do anything about it. It's not going up. It's supposed to automatically move up. That, the screen sharing thing is supposed to automatically. Don't worry. Anyway, the PowerPoint will come to you. Whatever title you are missing, I will read it for you. For example, the title here is Voting Through Electronic Means, Section 108. Voting through electronic means, Section 108. That is what you are missing there. Don't worry. Okay. You expect perfect environment. You expect everything to be perfect. Only then I will study. Then very difficult. CA exam. Imperfection, you have to work. When things are not going right, only the real test is starting of an intelligent student. Okay. I mean, this is not to comment about you, Pooja, but to tell you. Okay. I can tell you some students are writing to me mails and WhatsApp. If I tell you the type of difficulties that these students are undergoing financially, environmentally, and still they are studying and trying to become CA, salute them. And whatever help I can do, but think about it. Okay, they are deprived, but they are trying to become a member of our institute. I salute these students who are struggling. Okay, my father was one such. My grandfather was a school teacher. My father comes from a lower middle class family. My father could not afford even one. He could have only one uniform to go to school. In the evening, it will be washed and next day he will wear it. That is how my father studied. Went on to become a member of our institute, chartered accountant. Okay. He used to work to study. Okay. I will never forget the struggles that my father has undergone to become a chartered accountant. Though he didn't allow me to struggle, but I know what he struggled to become a member from a lower middle class, how much he struggled to become a member of our institute. Okay. They used to live in a house, joint house with 5 families together in one house, one portion they were living in. My grandfather, those days, that was how it was. And my father studied there and he became a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay. Not trying to praise that, so see how it is, but it's one more. My father is one of those people who struggled from poverty, not poverty, but financially constraints are there. Okay. And then he had to come up and become a member. So I'm just giving this as a humble view, nothing to do with puja statement. Suddenly it came to me. So put up with all that. If you're struggling in the early stage of your life, later stage you will become very successful. People who are enjoying in the early stage of their life, all luxuries are given, chances are they may not be able to adapt to a future problems when it comes. Okay. So both the joint holders are members. So if the second holder is appointed as proxy by the first holder, why should he be appointed as the first holder? I mean, confusing yourself. Both are members. If the first holder attends, only he can vote. By appointing this, why should he appoint the second holder as a proxy? If the first holder cannot come, the second holder can come and vote. If the first holder is not there, then the second holder can vote there. Got it? So no need to appoint the second holder as a proxy. The second holder also has the right as a member. But if the first holder is present in person, second holder can only jump up and down. No respect will be given to him or her. But if the first holder is not there, automatically second holder will get all the rights of a member attending in person. Okay. Got it, Pujaji? Wonderful. Now the time is 8:37. So shall we say 8:45 or 8:47? Max. Before that also we will start. Now we have to move on to really tough topic, to two boring, lengthy topics. Electronic voting, postal ballot. Inshallah, we should finish that today. And then also we will, I don't know how far we will be able to complete it in the next class. Let us see. I don't know why this is not going up. Let us see. So, sir, there's a break, sir. I'm going to give a break. Ram, I'm going to give a break. Welcome back from your well-deserved break, and let's move on. We are going to see two methods of voting, addition to poll, but not different from poll. Think about it. Demand for poll, we are using paper. We are using physical form, right? The polling sheet is on printed paper. The members come in person to a physical place, then they tick or put an X mark on the polling sheet. See, the resolution will be printed on that sheet. Then each member will get his sheet with his registered folio number and his number of shares. That's all. And he will put his X mark for against. So everything will be done physically. And you will fold it, put it in the polling box, and you will go away. Scrutinizer. Everything is physical. Now the problem in physical is the last 10 years, we have slowly understood that physical presence is not needed. Even pre-pandemic. See, it's not as if we learned it through pandemic. No, sir. Even before pandemic, we had electronic meetings, we had electronic voting and all that. So the idea was, all members need not attend in person. 1. 2, they need not waste their time appointing proxy also, because what is the only purpose why you are coming for that meeting, sir? What is the only purpose why you are coming to the meeting? The only purpose is to vote. Now I am saying, don't come. I will send you an electronic email, wherein I will give you all the details, and I will also give you a link to attend, to come there, and you vote. In addition to that, I will have a meeting also. Please understand, in electronic voting, what happens is, there is also a physical meeting where members can come and vote in it. This is the very thing you want to understand. In postal ballot, there will be no physical meeting. The entire ballot will be taken on post, by post, and it will be counted, no meeting. But in e-voting, there will be two options. You can either do e-voting or you can come in person and vote. At the venue also, they will have an e-voting booth where you can go and vote. Okay. So this is the thing. So every company, for which company is it compulsory? Every company which has listed its equity shares on a recognized stock exchange, and a company having not less than 1,000 members. So these two categories, compulsory e-voting. On any matter, there should be e-voting facility to exercise their right to vote on resolutions proposed to be considered at a general meeting by electronic means. See, earlier, members did not have the ability to participate in the decision-making process because of geography. If I wanted to vote, I have to come in person, or I have to appoint a proxy. Proxy has to come in person. Now, today geography is history. You sit at home, aramse sitting at home looking at your screen. I will send you an email wherein I'll give you all the statutory information. You go through it, satisfy yourself. Then I will give you a link. You click on that link. It will take you to the secured polling sheet, which is secured. Okay. And anyway, you're going to enter this through your password. Nobody else can come other than you. We will be giving you a user ID, and your password is DP ka password. The depository participant ka password is there. That password you will put, which is only known to you. Only you know it. Nobody else knows it. So you go there. Then you vote for, against, whatever. Submit. Kadam. As simple as that. So e-voting is nothing but an extension of polling sheet. Instead of giving it to you in physical form, I'm giving it to you in electronic form. That is all. And I'm ensuring that nobody else can vote on your behalf by ensuring password control also. If you will permit me, my dear friends, I have a e-voting, example. I wanted to show it to you. Just give me 1 minute. I will see if Balakrishna Industries. See, this is, I hope you're able to see it. I don't know if you're able to see the screen. This is a company called Balakrishna Industries. I'm a shareholder in this company. It is a good automobile company where They are into retread tires and all. It's a good company. Okay. I valued it about 10 to 15 years ago and I found it to be a good company. Today it is multi-bagger for me. Okay. Point is, this company is having its annual general meeting on the 7th of July 2022. As a member, I am getting a e-notice. So clearly the subject line is saying annual report and AGM notice convening the 60th annual general meeting to be held on Thursday, blah, blah. So this is the notice now. What you are seeing is the notice. As you can see, my name is given. My registered folio number, DPID. Now you understand? My depository participant ka ID number is given. Folio number is my DPID. This is my DP. This is the ID with my depository participant. I have a DP account with Edelweiss Broking. That DPID. So this is common across all companies where I hold shares. All the 39 companies where I hold shares, they will only know this. For them only, I am a DPID. And that DPID has a password. Please understand. So they are going to have a virtual conference meeting, video conferencing meeting, not physical. Okay, so they are inviting me for the video conferencing meeting or other audio visual means. They are also enclosing the annual report. Now, if I want to see the annual report, I simply have to click and I will see it. Now they are giving me voting instructions for e-voting. Okay. This is the topic we are going to now see. If you see this practically, you will understand this is what we are now going to see as subject. Remote e-voting should be informed. You should inform the members that the facility of remote e-voting is available. Then how it should be done, etc. Now, so this is my user ID, which is nothing but my DPID. My DPID password, they won't give it here. I have to go and put it. So they are also telling me when the remote e-voting. Remote e-voting means instead of attending the virtual, instead of coming anywhere, sitting at home, where may aram se I can vote whenever I want at my convenience. Except that the voting is happening between this time, 4th July 9 a.m. to 6th July 5 p.m. I have to click on this web link and I am not going to do that. It will go there. Okay, otherwise I will not be able to vote. So if I do it now, I can't vote again. Nothing. If you click on it, it will go to one URL where you will find the polling sheet is there. That's all. Nothing great. In addition to that, you can also do e-voting at the AGM. See, once 6th July is over, 5 p.m. 6th July, the remote e-voting portal will disconnect. But the meeting is actually going to happen on 7th July at 11 a.m. now. So again at 11 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. on 7th July, they will provide facility for e-voting. Got it? So there they will again give the right to vote at the AGM. The facility for voting through electronic voting system will also be made available at the meeting. And members attending the meeting who have not cast their votes by remote e-voting will be able to vote at the meeting. Right? So again, in that remote, in that e-meeting, in that electronic meeting, the e-voting will be there. The chairman will say, all those in favor vote. Now, if you have not voted on remote e-voting, you can then vote. When the vote now thumb sign is on the left-hand corner, go there and vote. Once that item of agenda is taken up and voting is over, this will be locked up. Even at the meeting, once that item of agenda will be over, you cannot vote. That is all. Okay? Very logical. So I just thought I will share this with you because this is a very, very important thing. Okay? You can also inspect documents electronically. Okay? All that is provided. It's a nice, interesting thing. I just thought I will show you practically. If you are a shareholder, you will also get similar notices. It's not something great. Okay? It so happens I got it nearing the date of our class. So I thought I will as well show you how e-voting happens. Okay? Once you know this now, it's very, very simple. Procedure is very simple. Okay? Let us see. Okay. Mrs. Rekha is asking a nice question. I will take it up at the end of this, nearing the end of this class. It's a good question, but I have an answer, but I won't give it to you later. Okay, so these two companies compulsorily shall provide e-voting facility, right, sir? Cut-off date means a date not earlier than 7 days before the date of general meeting, determining the eligibility to vote. So who is eligible to vote? Only to those people this e-notice will be sent. Electronic voting system means a secure system-based process of display of electronic ballots. Instead of physical ballot sheet, electronic ballot, recording of votes, etc., etc. That the entire voting is exercised by way of electronic means gets registered and counted in an electronic registry in a centralized server with adequate cyber security. I think that is the essence of it. I am a certified information systems auditor, CISA. Now, cyber security is very important. And the one basic method, see, boss, two things I have to control. One, only a member should be able to come and vote. For that, I am controlling it through password. You saw that. DPID and password, DPK password. I cannot control it. You are the member, you come. But hacking is possible. Somebody may hack it. To prevent hacking, either by the management or by anybody, firewall should be there. Firewall. And the two, deny all firewall should be there. Totally deny all. Only one fellow will be able to go through. One IP address can go through. And that is the Scrutinizer IP. Using the Scrutinizer password and thing. Maximum you can have chairman also. That's all. So only 2 or 3 DPs will be recognized by the firewall. Internet protocol address. Okay, what is Internet protocol? You all know that, I'm sure, from your knowledge of Information Technology Act, or rather Information System subject. See, when I'm accessing the net through my laptop has a unique IP address. It's a unique number. When I'm accessing the net through this mobile phone, it has a unique IP address. So each device has a unique IP address. Okay, so whenever I log, so that is why IP-based protocols based on the device. Okay, so only those devices can connect. No other device can connect that server. That is the most powerful of all firewalls. Such a firewall should be built around it, and using that, this man will, only the scrutinizer can go and the chairman can go. For what purpose? For even they cannot change the ballots. Sorry. Once the ballot is issued, that means the system should deny changes. They have rights only to view, and they can download the data, or using that application, they can declare the result or know the result. That's all. Nothing else. If they try to go to the database and try to change, impossible. Even for them, that right will not be there. Nobody will have that right. Only view right will be there, result will be. That is what they mean by adequate cyber security. Right? Today we have that type of cyber security. Such firewalls are there. It's not as impossible as we are making it. Right? Remote e-voting means the facility of casting votes by a member using an electronic voting system from a place other than venue of general meeting. That's all. Voting by electronic means both remote e-voting and voting at the general meeting through an electronic voting system, which we saw. So that system, the thing is, before the meeting, you saw the date now, he'll be given time to vote, remote e-voting. He misses that chance. He gets one more chance to attend the meeting either electronically, virtually, or in person. Person also possible. Suppose I'm having a physical general meeting, he can come in person. At that physical general meeting, I'll keep a booth where I'll keep one computer which will access. And that computer only can do. See, for receiving votes, I will not have denial. See, that part of the application, it won't be denial because you come and give. So long as you give me the password and the user ID correctly, chalo, come. But changing, viewing, you can't. Once you submit it, bye. But scrutinizer and chairman can go there and view. They can also take the result and all. But they cannot change. They don't have the rights. All this is controlled by the application as well as the database server and of course the operating system. Okay, so at the 3 level it operates. Cybersecurity operates at 3 levels, right? And the firewall sits on top of all and ensures that you can't get in, right? See, unfortunately, this subject is linked to information systems. So a chartered accountant should also be expert in IS today. Minimum, you should have the knowledge of information systems and audit. Even if you are not a CISA or a DISA, sorry, this is becoming a sine qua non for our members. Maybe even if you're going to be a little lethargic in the intermediate level, chalo, no problem. When you come to final, there will be one paper, ISCA or whatever it is called, that is going to be a real dampener. Be prepared for it. But it's very interesting. Believe me when I say that. IS is one of the most interesting subjects. Once you, as usual, understand the principles involved, the complication will go away. The technology can be easily understood. Once you understand the principle, as usual, in all subjects, understand the core principle, everything will fall in place. Don't understand the core principle, simply mug up, vomit, get confused, live in a world of confusion. That is all. Hardcore anchor, principle anchor, knowledge is there, then you can easily change and learn. But if you don't go to principle level learning, you simply learn at book level, you will be confused. And you will be dependent on authors and books rather than your own knowledge. Okay. A member may exercise his right to vote through voting by electronic means on resolutions, and the company shall pass such resolutions in accordance with the provisions of this rule. That's all. The notice of the meeting shall be sent to all the members by registered post through electronic means, courier. That is why I showed you that email. You can send it by electronic means. Ideally, send it by electronic means, because if you send it by electronic means, you can provide the link also. So, seriously, sending postal will be useless now. But still, some clubs and all which allow e-voting. See, for example, my club has more than 1,000 members. So, the club where I'm a member in Chennai, the social club, it's called the Presidency Club. So, they allow e-voting. And so, what I do is, I like to attend the general meeting in the club itself. So, what I do is, I like to say hi to guys and all. So, I go there and vote, electronic voting, right? But they send it by physical copy, wherein they give the link. So, I have to go to the website, put the link there, and then that's all. Whereas, if you are using electronic means, you can actually give him a link to go. That is easier. Also, it should be hosted on the website if any of the company and of the agency, means if you are hiring an agent to do the e-voting facility on that. Okay. We already saw this. I showed you the notice. The notice should say that the company is providing facility for voting by electronic means. You can either do it at the electronic voting system, or you can do it at the meeting. You can either do remote e-voting or at the meeting. But those who have cast their remote e-voting prior to the meeting may also attend the meeting. Nobody can prevent you from attending the meeting. You can even speak at the meeting. But again, you cannot cast your vote. Once cast, again, you cannot cast again. If you use the remote e-voting facility, you cannot again cast at the meeting through e-voting. That's all. But you can come. Please come. Enjoy. Be there. Talk. You can even speak. But voting, no. So the company shall cause a public notice to be published, right? At least 21 days before the general meeting in 2 newspapers, etc., etc. Okay. About the e-voting and all that. 21 days before is again notice. The general meeting, AGM notice should be sent 21 clear days before. At that time, you should also give a public notice. Okay. Mentioning e-voting. The idea is somebody might not see the mail, they will see the notice. The advertisement should tell that voting by electronic means is available, the date of commencement of remote e-voting, etc., etc. Okay. Cut-off date. Then manner in which persons who have acquired shares and become members after the dispatch of notice may obtain the login ID and password. See, there could be a guy who has acquired the shares after the dispatch of the notice, but he's still entitled to vote at the meeting. So how he can obtain login ID and password? Website address of the company, if any, all that. Grievance. They are all simple, yeah. Time for opening of e-voting. The facility for remote e-voting shall remain open not less than 3 days. And shall close at 5 p.m. Do you remember the dates I showed you? Right? 4, 5, 6, 3 days. Opening 9 a.m. on 4th, 5th, 6th, 5 p.m. close. Right? So 4, 5, 6. That's what we saw. Right? Close at 5 p.m. On the date preceding the date of the general meeting. I showed you Balakrishna Industries so that you have a practical example of that. If you want, I will show you again one more time. So that mainly for this dates. Okay, see, they're having it. Monday, the 4th July, 9 a.m. Wednesday, the 6th. One day before the date of AGM, which is 7th. Okay, closes at 5 p.m. So this is a practice. I just thought I'll give you a practical example so that you will get the flavor. That is why I'm showing you the practical example. So during the period when facility for remote e-voting is provided, the members of the company holding shares, either in physical form or dematerialized form, as on the cutoff date, may opt for remote e-voting. Once, see, again and again, they are repeating this. These fellows. Once the vote on a resolution is cast by the member, he shall be allowed to change it subsequently. Okay. He can, of course, participate in the meeting, but he cannot vote again. I think ad nauseam they are repeating it. That is why it's getting boring. Okay. At the end of the remote e-voting period, the facility shall forthwith be blocked. On 5 p.m., 6th, Balakrishna Industries will block it. Again, it will open only at the time of meeting, when you can again vote. Who can be scrutinizer? For this purpose, chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, advocate, or any other person who is not in the employment of the company and is a person of repute. Who can scrutinize? See, a leading stockbroker or a leading investment consultant, whatever. But ideally, I tell you, play it safe, appoint a company secretary. Because that guy is supposed, just like for tax advice, you will not go to a cost accountant or company secretary. You will come to chartered accountant. For this activity, that man is a specialist. Go to him or her. They know. Not that, see, knowledge even I have was, but the actual conduct, better to give it to these company secretaries. They know it. And again, you see, he would have, see, most of them would have attended practical training for 15 months with a senior company secretary. When they would have assisted him, so they will know what to do. So they have the experience to do it. Okay. Good. It's a very practical topic. Counting of votes. Again, it will be done electronically. The first count of votes. Thereafter, he will unblock the votes cast through remote e-voting in the presence of at least 2 witnesses. Okay. See what happens. All the remote e-voting shares votes have come. Then at the general meeting also voting is happening. Conclusion. First count. What he will do? He will unblock the votes cast through remote e-voting in the presence of at least 2 witnesses who are not employees. Okay. And make not later than 3 days of conclusion of the meeting a consolidated scrutinizer's report of the total votes cast in favor or against. Boss, given the e-voting facility, this fellow should be able to do it within half an hour, 1 hour. They are giving him 3 days to sit on his thumbs and think. But if he is smart, he can do it. But then, to be on the safer side, they say 3 days. But usually, the result will be announced almost at the end of the meeting. It will be announced as and when. Because it's all electronic, boss. What are you waiting for? Just click, you will get the answer. As simple as that. Okay. No need for counting. All that the computer is going to do. Okay. You just have to ensure that. And that to see, he is giving the DP ID and also you don't have to verify his folio number, whether the signature is tallying or all. What blast signature? It's his ID, boss. Who else can come and vote? If somebody else comes and vote, who is responsible? Only the member is responsible because you shouldn't have given your password to somebody, right? Like that. Okay. For the purpose of ensuring that members who have cast their votes do not vote again, the scrutinizer shall have access after the closure of period for remote e-voting and before start of general meeting to details relating to members. Again, my dear friends, the MCA has not understood. Actually, the application itself can control that. Suppose the same guy is coming again, I can easily identify him. And I can just flash a message saying, you have already voted. Sorry, bye. That's all. Because I know him, yeah, his DP ID is unique. He's already come and voted. A fellow wants to come again and vote. No. Everything can see. Electronic voting that way is easiest of all. As a topic, it is boring and lengthy. But as an activity, it is the comfortable and easy. The scrutinizer shall maintain a register manually or electronically. Ideally, electronically. Just to dump all this onto an Excel, and lock the Excel. Okay. That's it. So that you will know how the members are voted and all that. Everything will be on record. Right? So easy. That register or the folder or whatever the Excel spreadsheet should be in the safe custody of the scrutinizer until the chairman considers, approves and signs the minutes. Thereafter, it will be given to the company. The result will be declared on the website of the company, right? And subject to the receipt of requisite number of votes, the resolution shall be deemed to be passed on the date of the relevant general meeting. Once a resolution is proposed to be considered through voting by electronic means, it shall not be withdrawn. See, a resolution has been proposed. We have sent the e-voting details to all the members now. After that, you cannot withdraw it because so many people have voted for, against and all. So once proposed through e-voting, you cannot withdraw. So this is electronic voting. Very interesting topic. I'm very happy that we could cover it. Bharat is asking, are you a member or a shareholder? I'm a member and a shareholder. Okay, I invest for a long term. I don't buy and sell. I buy and hold. This company share I'm holding for the last 10 years. Yeah, around that. Yes. Yeah, correct. 2007, 8. Yeah. Easily more than 10 years I'm holding Balakrishna Industries. Okay. I'm a member and a shareholder. Okay. To answer your, I think you have understood. I think you have understood the question correctly. So I hope I have understood the question correctly. Once you say e-voting is compulsory, remote e-voting is also compulsory. To answer your question, if you say e-voting, then remote e-voting facility should be given compulsory. In addition to remote e-voting, they get a chance to vote at the meeting also through electronic means. I'm repeating, once you say electronic voting, remote e-voting should be provided. In addition to that, if a member does not vote in that remote e-voting option, he gets another chance to attend the meeting either virtually or in physical form. And at that meeting, I can give him one more chance to vote electronically during the meeting. The second option, second chance. Okay, so I hope you are clear about remote e-voting and e-voting. E-voting is voting by electronic means. When you do it at the venue of the meeting or during the meeting, virtually when you attend, it is not remote e-voting. It is normal e-voting. But facility of remote e-voting should be provided. Once you say you are doing e-voting, remote e-voting should be provided. You can vote. For that, there will be a separate procedure where if you have bought it after the cutoff date, you have to give them information and they will give you the, because the mail would be sent only to those guys whose names are known 21 days before. But suppose you want to vote, you can vote. You can go to the thing. There will be a facility. There will be a, see, the agency which is facilitating this will provide at the help desk. You can mail to the help desk and they will send you a mail and they will, provided you give a proof that you are currently a member, they will verify, then they will remove that DPID and put your DPID. Cutoff date is the date up to which we will see who are all eligible to receive notice of the meeting. Those people will get the notice which I showed you. Because how do I know otherwise? Yeah, I have to have a cutoff date. Okay. Good question. Rekha ji is asking a question which is on slide number 73 of your PPT, the concept that person who want to inspect the proxy can give notice before 3 days. Not in my slide. It is there in the law. I'm only reproducing what is there in the law. But the way you put that in my slide number 73, you know, I'm so worried, afraid, as if court case will be filed against me. Okay. But the proxies are itself filed before 2 days. Madam, I have a doubt that the company management will do some nonsense. Therefore, I have a feeling that proxies will do. So I should give a notice of inspection 3 days before. Obviously, the proxies will come only 48 hours before. I can inspect 24 hours before. But so if I don't have such doubt and I keep quiet, later on I cannot come and say I want to inspect, show me and all. If I want to inspect, if I have a doubt, I should ask for the facility 3 days before. Then once the proxies come, I can come 24 hours before and inspect it. That is my understanding of this provision. Okay. What do you think? Do you agree? Or if you at least don't agree, have you understood my point? Because many times in this life I have noticed, we may not agree with everybody. But first we have to understand them. Before you disagree with somebody, please check. Have you understood? Many times I find people have not understood at all, but they will disagree and argue. Without understanding, they will argue. That is why so many arguments are happening in our life. Okay. Chalo, let us see if I can complete postal ballot also today. Maybe give me another 10 minutes that way. Postal ballot. As per section 265, you already seen it in preliminary topic. Postal ballot means voting by post or through any electronic mode. See, so you will notice that there is an overlap between postal ballot and electronic mode. I will tell you honestly, postal ballot was an earlier avatar of electronic mode. One more thing. Postal ballot is there for all companies, but electronic mode only for those two type of companies. And postal ballot is compulsory for all companies for certain matters. Right. The provisions relating to passing of resolution by postal ballot are contained in section 110. Now, any company shall, in respect of such items of business as the central government may by notification declare to be transacted only by means of postal ballot. So there are matters that the central government has declared can be done only by postal ballot. Shall. In those cases, no option. The company shall do it only by postal ballot. May, in respect of any item of business other than ordinary business and any business in respect of which directors or auditors have right to be heard at any meeting. See, ordinary business and businesses where the directors or auditors have a right to be heard, you cannot do through postal ballot. Why? Because one of the important ordinary business is annual report. Reviewing the annual report. Members have a right to ask questions. The board of directors cannot escape this right by doing it through postal ballot. So, the four ordinary businesses, declaring a dividend, mainly passing of the financial statement, appointing of auditor, appointing of directors. These matters cannot be done through postal ballot. Other than that, you have a choice. If you want, you can do postal ballot also. See, postal ballot is very convenient. I simply circulate it and then I will. You can see postal ballot need not be by physical post. You can also use electronic means. Okay. But ordinary business cannot be done, and any business in respect of which directors and auditors have a right to be heard. When we come to auditors topic, inshallah, I will be taking it. I will tell you when the auditor will have a right to be heard at the meeting. In fact, on any financial subject, auditors have a right to be heard. Also, if you are trying to appoint a person other than the retiring auditor at an AGM, he has the right to be heard. Sorry, when you are removing the auditor, he has the right to be heard. Okay. Yeah. When you are appointing a person other than the retiring auditor or expressly resolving that the retiring auditor shall not be reappointed at an AGM, he has the right to be heard. It is also one of the matters requiring special notice. Okay. We'll be seeing that. So, if it is compulsorily given by the central government, shall. Or in either case, other than ordinary business and where directors and auditors are being heard, may. Transact such business by means of postal ballot in such manner as may be prescribed, instead of transacting such meeting at a general meeting. So, you don't hold the meeting, you simply send the postal ballot and get it. Invariably, all other special businesses, EGM, etc., no waste. Why are you holding EGM? To pass a resolution? Don't do it. Send a circulate postal ballot and get it. That's all. Easy. Cost friendly also. Any item of business required to be transacted by means of postal ballot under clause A may be transacted at a general meeting by a company which is required to provide the facility to members to vote by electronic means. So, where a company has to compulsorily provide electronic means, those cases, even items which are to be transacted by postal ballot may be transacted at a general meeting. I am a listed company. This matter requires postal ballot. So I am not supposed to do it at a general meeting, only postal ballot. No. If you are a listed company and remote e-voting is compulsory for you, and you are offering that facility, then you can also take it up at a general meeting and transact it. And we saw that in electronic voting. So that is why there is an overlap between postal ballot and electronic voting. Where e-voting is compulsory, postal ballot you can ignore. You can do it by e-voting and at a general meeting also, right? So in a way, there is an exception for those companies which have to compulsorily give e-voting facility. For them, there is no need to have postal ballot only. They can also have a general meeting, right? One more thing, these barriers between postal ballot, e-voting, etc. are disappearing. Today, who is sending by post? That is gone. No company now sends anything. Listed companies do not send anything by post. Everything by email to your registered email ID. That's all. And their job is over. That's very important. So today, that's why that one email ID should be a very, very important email ID for you. Without everything will come there. If a resolution is assented to by the requisite majority by means of postal ballot, it shall be deemed to have been duly passed at a general meeting convened in that way. Okay. Central government can declare certain items of business that can be transacted only by postal ballot. And that can be done only by postal ballot. Except for listed companies and 1,000 and above members, those companies. Only those assents and dissents are to be considered which have been sent by the members within 30 days. See, that is very, very important. See, company is required or decides to pass any resolution by way of postal ballot. It has to send the notice plus the draft resolution to all the shareholders by post or by email. The notice can be sent by registered post or speed post, through electronic means like to their registered email ID or through courier service. You have the option. Then the members will send their assent or dissent within 30 days of date of dispatch of notice. So I dispatch the notice today, proof is there. From that date, 30 days time is given for him to send back. I have to give him a self-addressed stamp envelope for post. If it is an email, I will link it with a ballot form and he will do it. Yes or no assent. As simple as that. So most listed companies which use postal ballot prefer electronic means. Unlisted companies also which compulsorily have to do postal ballot, they also today prefer email. Or else they will send in physical form by registered post. They will put a self-addressed stamp envelope. He will reply back within 30 days. So I dispatch the notice. From that date, within 30 days, member should give his assent or dissent. If assent or dissent is not received within 30 days, then it will not be considered. Okay. Also, an advertisement should be published in the 2 newspapers, etc., etc. See, these are all standard wordings. Once you remember, once it is enough. Advertisement shall be published in 2 newspapers, one in vernacular, one in English language, in the district in which the registered office of the company is situated, having a wide circulation. Okay, that's all. So that advertisement you should mention that this has to be done by way of postal ballot. Date of completion of dispatch of notices, date of commencement of voting, date of end of voting, so that he will know before that date he has to send it so as to reach before the date of end. The statement that any postal ballot received from member beyond that date will not be valid. A statement to the effect that members who have not received may apply to the company and obtain a duplicate, etc., etc. All these are statutory points to be contained. Okay. Contact details of person responsible to address the grievance. Similar to e-voting. If you study these two topics together, you will see many similarities between postal ballot and e-voting. I have a strong feeling they should remove postal ballot from this topic. That's the act itself. And compulsorily make e-voting for everybody. My humble request. That is my humble feeling. Okay. So that it should also be placed on the website. Again, you have to appoint one scrutinizer, etc., etc. And then all the postal ballots will be kept in the safe custody of the scrutinizer. See, in e-voting, what happened? It went into that safe firewall protected database. Here, it will be in physical form, it will be in the safe custody of the scrutinizer. And once the 30 days is over, the scrutinizer will open it, count the ballots, find out the assent or dissent, and will submit his report as soon as possible, but not later than 7 days to the company. Again, the scrutinizer should maintain a register. You already similar to remote e-voting. Once you understood e-voting, this is similar. Okay, no need to double archify or no need to again mug up. Yeah, Logically, if you know there, you know here. Everything should be preserved by the scrutinizer, then once it is declared, it will be given to the company and it will be preserved. Same, no difference. Okay. The assent or dissent after 30 days shall be treated as if reply has not been received. Okay. The result will be placed on the website, etc. The provisions of Rule 20 regarding voting by electronic means shall apply as far as applicable mutandis to this rule. Got it? So, that rule is applicable here. Similar. Wherever this rule is silent, electronic means will apply here. Is the point. See, today in my humble view, postal ballot has merged into e-voting. Postal ballot has now merged into e-voting. It is high time it went out. Post office itself is going out. Postal ballot can also go out. E-voting can be there. Only e-voting is. Chalo. So, the following matters shall be transacted only through postal ballot. I am not going to go through it. It is there in the material. Remember it. You have to remember it. These matters have to be done through postal ballot. Alteration of object class, alteration of articles of association for inserting or removal of provisions under subsection 68(2). Okay, to constitute it. Suppose you are making a private company or private a public company, then that has to be done only by way of postal ballot. See, if you go for postal ballot or remote voting, the greatest benefit is more members can participate. That's all. Gives more, shall we say, inclusivity to the corporate voting. That's all. That is the whole purpose behind e-voting and postal ballot. Change in place of registered office outside the city, town or village. Change in the objects where a company has raised money through public from prospectus and has unutilized amount. Do you remember 13.8? That is to be done only through postal ballot. Issue of shares with differential rights. All this we saw, right? Variation in rights of shareholders, buyback, okay? Election of director, which you will come to in your final syllabus, giving of guarantee loans, etc. 186 final syllabus. All this can be done only by way of postal ballot, right? You can also do it at a general meeting if you are having electronic means. Basic principle, matters to be done at postal ballot. You are a company that has to compulsorily have e-voting, then you can go for e-voting facility, in which case you can have a general meeting, and at the general meeting also you can transact. One-person companies and other companies having members up to 200 are not required to transact any business through postal ballot. So OPC, no postal, obviously boss, you will send letter to yourself. What are we talking? And members up to 200, no. You need not, compulsory postal ballot is not there. You can opt for it, but compulsory is not there. Okay, fantastic. My target was to complete till restriction on voting rights, which I have done. So that was my target today, and it's now 9:33 and I have done it. I think I have answered all the questions, so thank you, Ms. Rekha, okay, for agreeing with me. Thank you. And understanding. Understanding is very important. First understand, then all relationships will become good. Agreeing. My wife and I live together. We understand each other but don't agree. Okay. We disagree, but clearly on points which both of us have understood. That is all. And that is a great foundation to build a relationship, to build things. Because without understanding, we'll be wasting our time. Great. And the meeting going on by video. Yes, remote. See, for this Balakrishna meeting is a virtual meeting. I can attend it virtually. So I'll be there virtually. And I can switch on my video and talk if I want. Okay. Video calling meetings. This is exactly the point. Balakrishna industry, which I showed you, is a video meeting, video call. So first they have given me remote e-voting facility, right? I exercise that. Then again I can attend. Suppose I have not exercised my remote e-voting, at the meeting, when I enter the e-voting, enter the video conferencing mode, they will give me an option to vote. A link will be there. I can go there and I can vote again. If I have not voted on remote e-voting, I can attend during the meeting and vote. That is how it will be done for video conferencing also. Going forward, you know something? Before I conclude, I know it's getting late for all of you. Give me another 3 minutes. 1999, I was presenting a paper at the Trivandrum Regional Conference of the Institute of Company Secretaries, Southern India Regional Council. 1991, it's a published paper. You can go and take it from the institute. In the conference proceedings, you will find Shrikant's article is there. I wrote a 5-page article on electronic voting and virtual meetings. At that time, Companies Act 56 did not even contemplate postal ballot going to come, not yet come. At that time, I said, because that was the .com era, at that time I said companies should have virtual meeting. 1999. Now, 2009, 2000, almost taken so long for that to become a reality. Exact procedure I described in that white paper, where I said they can use it and create corporate democracy can be improved. I'm not joking. It's a published report. When I said today, it's common with the technology. But the problem in 1999 was we did not have the bandwidth. We did not have the speed. We didn't have the digital speed to handle the digital mode. Now we have that much speed. Going forward, we'll have more and more. Moore's law is operating. The memory is going to become smaller and smaller. Processor is going to become smaller and smaller. But speed is going to become proportionately more. Geometrically, it's going to go up. As the processor becomes small, the speed is going to become more and extend it to its. So a small nanoparticle can control everything. Like such is where your world is going. And with those technologies, you will conquer Mars, you will conquer Moon. But company law will still be the same. Whether in Mars also you're having an AGM, brothers and sisters, these are the rules you have to use. Wonderful. Balakrishna, you just check it. It's there. Balakrishna tires. It is very much there. Check. You just check it. These days, is there any person on poll? It's one share, one vote. And if a member is having 1,000 votes, so can he cast? Yeah, yes. Good question. Anyway, I would have taken it up later, Mr. Jamil. Thank you for asking. Yes, when a member has 1,000 votes, he can decide to vote partly in favor and partly against. Thanks for asking this question. I think it will be covered in a later topic, but having asked the question, yes, a member can exercise his votes for and against. He can distribute his votes in any way he wants. It is not necessary that all the 1,000 votes to be cast in favor or against. He can choose. Okay, is the point. May 2023, open the class. I don't know what it means. Again, a cryptic statement. May 2023. Open the class. Okay. Chalo, today we have had a great session. At least for me, it was very interesting to talk with all of you and share this topic, which is very relevant given the current situations. Let's hope that on Saturday we will complete the topic, which I doubt. I doubt if I can complete this topic on Saturday, but let us see, inshallah, when we will get into restriction on voting rights and all that. Till then, bye. See you on Saturday. Bye. Yeah, session also.